Welcome back in our ongoing series of the Mission Possible. This is a very special video about the taxes. It is probably the best explanation that we could get of the taxes. Even so good, there was no need for me to even remake it. Let's get to it. Okay, the video is brought to you by Mike the Investor. Yes, he is a fellow legend with all of the legends that are on the team of L7 Crypto. He's going to cover the drip faucet taxes, and it's the best explanation of the whale tax I have seen to date. It is easy to understand. You'll see. So please, after you watch the video, please visit and subscribe to Mike's page. Link will be in the description. Let's get to it.
What's up, future millionaires? It's your boy MTI, and today we're going to be breaking down the whale tax for the drip faucet. And some of this may shock you on how much taxes is actually taken out, but the thing that really may shock you is how much money you can still actually make after the taxes. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, as you can see here, the current price of drip is around $6.96. Now, this price can be either lower or higher at the time when you see this video. If we head on over to the faucet here briefly, you can see I have 2,710 drip, which is just a little bit under 19K at the time of this video. And one thing I want to show you here, remember you have these four main buckets available: deposits, claimed, and the max payout, right? So whenever you go to hydrate, which is compound, you're going to increase your deposits, and you're also going to increase your claim bucket as well, right? Because once you get to 100,000, once to say 100,000, you would just be claiming until this hits 100,000. But the thing about this bucket here, which confuses a lot of people, is even if you're claiming, it increases this bucket. But if you hydrate, it increases this bucket, but it also increases your deposit, which allows you to earn more money each day, which comes into your available here. So I wanted to just briefly talk about that because we're going to be briefly going over this as we look at this chart. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, here is the drip whale tax and all of the taxes as well for the drip ecosystem. Now, DeFi Dice showed this, and I found this chart in the drip telegram, so shout out to him for even touching on it. And so I wanted to do another kind of like deep dive into this, so shout out to him. Now, one thing I want to show you, here is all the taxes. There are 4 different charts we're going to be looking at, and it's easy to get lost on this. So I'm going to do my best not to confuse you or mess around and say the wrong thing. So I apologize in advance. So here we can see, here's all the taxes, right? You have the buying drip on another DEX, 10%. Depositing, there's a 10% tax. When you transfer, there's a 10% tax. Airdrop, 10% tax. When you sell, there's a 10% tax. And then the lowest tax is when you go to compound. And so regardless what action you are doing, when it comes to the drip faucet here, there's going to be a tax, regardless whether your deposit, hydrate, whether you claim, whether you're airdropping, whatever you're doing, there is a tax, which has helped keep this ecosystem sustainable since April of last year, as well as the good whales that are in the ecosystem. They have definitely played their part as well. So here's all the taxes right here so everyone can see. This is the taxes here. And there's a lot of taxes, don't get me wrong. And I'm going to show you, it's more taxes than you probably think, but I'm also going to show you a few different scenarios on how you can still make a lot of money. All right. So here's the max account stats on drip. The max deposit is going to be around 27.4. The max claim will be about 100,000. And then the max total tax will be 27,500. So what does this mean right here? Basically, what this is talking about is once you get to a maxed payout account, which is 27.4, right here, max payout will say 100,000. Right now, I only have 2,700 in my deposit, so my max payout is only 9,800. Right. So as I increase my deposit, it's going to increase my max payout. But if I'm only claiming, it's only going to increase my claimed amount. Right. So if we head back over to the chart, once you hit that 27.4, you'll be able to take out the additional, whatever you have left to pull out for the 100,000 drip tokens. Now, this is where all of the taxes and all of that starts to come in, right? So follow with me. We're going to get to these other charts, but I'm trying to do it in a way so it doesn't confuse a lot of people. So out of the 100,000 drip tokens, once the whale tax is done, which you can see right here on this big chart down here, you're going to lose 27,500 from the whale tax out of that 100,000, which is going to put you right at 72,500. However, that's not all. Stay with me, and we're going to get to that here in a second. So right here is your whale tax, right? And what this is going off of is your claimed plus your available. So let me briefly try to explain this in the most simple way. So once my claim bucket here gets to 10,000 drip, I will then reach the first tier of taxes here, right? So as you can see right now, I am good. The only tax I am paying is when I go to compound, which is 5%, or if I go to claim, I have a 10% tax. And then of course, if I go to sell, there's another 10% tax. So right now I only have to pay that 5% tax on my compounds. Now, as soon as this gets to 10,000, I'm now going to lose 5% on my available, right? So when you go to compound or hydrate, it's going to be minus that 5%. So it's going to be 0.95%, give or take. Let's just pull this calculator up here real quick. Let's see. 1% minus 5%, going to be 0.95%. So here you can see, once I hit that 10,000 drip in the claim, so from 10,000 to pretty much 20,000, I have a 5% extra whale tax even when I compound. So now it's technically additional 10%, right? So how that's going to work is when I go to hydrate, right, I'm going to get hit on that 5% on my available, right? So it's still going to be going up by the 1%, and this is going to increase by the 1%, but my available is going to be minus whatever whale tax ladder I'm currently on. So hopefully that makes sense for you. So right now I'm getting the full 1%. As this get to 10,000, I'm going to move up to the 5%. So I'm going to lose 5% of that, 1% daily of the available, right? But this will still keep track as you are earning that 1% daily. However, you don't get the full 1% once you get to whale tax. So it's a lot to kind of wrap your head around, but I'm trying to go through this so everyone can understand it. Now, here's the whale tax, claim plus available. So remember, this whale tax is going off of your available amount. So basically, as you go up the ladder in whale tax, you're taking a bigger pay cut on your available here, right? So out of the 100,000, after all the whale taxes is done, you've claimed out your maxed account, 27,500 drip will be taken out, which leaves you with 72,500 drip. Now, this is where things get a little interesting. Now we're going to move up to this chart here. So how this chart works, it's going to go off of your true deposits, your claim total at reaching max payout, and total received after the drip from 100K and after the whale tax. So let me explain all this for you. So right now, let's say if you only purchased one drip token, your true deposit, what this means is how much you actually purchased with your money, not compounding back into the system, but how much you actually purchased and dollar cost averaged in. That's what your true deposit is. How many drip tokens did you personally purchase without compounding? So if we're looking at this first column, if you only purchase one drip token and you compound it to a max payout, that means you also claimed 27,399, right? So let me explain. Let's say I only purchased one drip token and I got to a max payout. That means once this hit 100,000 and this was 27.4, this will be at 27,399 claimed, right? Which means technically I have under 80,000 now to claim. However, whale tax hasn't hit yet, but we went over that first. So I'm just trying to show you how this whole thing works. So remember, out of the 100,000, we're going to lose 27.5 from the total whale tax, and it increases by each ladder. So pretty much every 10,000 is going to increase by 5%. So we're at 72.5 that we know. And so this person here who only did one, so what we're going to do now, you're going to take that 27,399 and you're going to minus it by what you already have remaining, which is 72.5, right? Everyone is going to get that 27.5 taken from that 100,000 max payout wallet, which leaves us with 72.5. Now the difference is going to be how much drip did you actually buy instead of accumulating by hydrating, right? So for the person that only bought one drip, they're going to receive the least amount because they had to compound more to get to that max payout. And remember, I told you at the beginning, when you hydrate, it increases your claimed and your deposits, also the max payout. When you claim, it only increases the claimed bucket here. So regardless of you hydrating, this is still going to go up. All right. Which leaves you with less drip to claim. So now you have 45,101 drip. I'm just going to say 45,000 for this example. All right. So now they got 45,000 drip. So you can see right there, that's about a 55% tax on that 100,000 drip. And you're probably like, Mike, that's a lot of freaking tax. Yes, it is. But let me show you the money that could still be made, even with about a 55% tax being taken out. And this is how things are kept sustainable for so long. And then we have the animal farm, which is going to help extend the life of this ecosystem. So here you can see, let me go back to do what I was going to do here. We got our 45,000 drip, a little bit more than that. So remember, let's say they want to sell this, because if you want to sell your drip, this is just the quantity amount in drip right now. So whatever that value is going to be based off of the price of drip at that current time. So a $1 drip would be $45,000 right here. So we got 45,000 tokens, right? Now, let's say they want to sell all of those. Well, now you got to take into account, let me move this down. You got to take into account the 10% selling tax, right? Which is about 4,500 drip tokens you will lose. So minus 10%, that's 4,500 drip tokens, which will leave you with around 40,500 tokens. So for this example, we're just going to say they're claiming. So I just want to show people kind of the bare bones on what you can get from the faucet and how powerful this is, even with the whale taxes. So most people are not going to do this because they're going to put some of that in an animal farm to extend the amount they've already earned. But I'm just doing this for this example. So we now taking the 10% out. So now after the whale tax, after how much we've already claimed to get to a max payout, and after the selling tax, we now have 40,500 drip tokens. So you can see after all the taxes, and including selling, if that's what you're going to do, we're losing about, almost 60,000, percent in quantity, right? Which is from whale, how much we've claimed, and the sale. Now check this out. As we already know, 1 times 40,000 is 40K. So check this out. We got 40,000 times a $7 drip price, which is currently where it is now. That's over $250,000, right? Even after all the taxes and the sales. So I want you to think about something. Imagine if these taxes wasn't here, and that's on a $7 drip price, right? 100,000 times 7 is 700K, right? So just on a $10 drip price, if there was no taxes, that's $1 million, for every $10 price increase on 100K drip tokens. And so this is why that taxes is here. Imagine how much money will be pulled out. And this is still a decent amount of money from a 15K or less investment, right? Most people invested 15K or less, or I should say even 20K or less. That's still, you're winning. You know what I mean? You may not have got $1 million, but you got a couple 6 figures to do something with and put yourself in position for the next opportunity, or create another wallet and set yourself up to not have to go through the full compounding cycle again, get it to where you can go ahead and start claiming where it's maxed out. And now you can go ahead and repeat the cycle because you've already seen how much you can make even with the taxes. So let's do this again. We got 40,000, and I'm just going to do the 40,000 this time. I'm not even going to do the 40,500. 40,000 times, which we already know what 10 is, that's 400K. But just to show you, that's $400,000 after the selling tax, right? So check this out. I just want to show you for everyone that wants to make that, that $1 million, right? Times $25. A $25 drip, even after all the taxes, is still $1 million. And yes, a lot of people would like to see it in a 3-figure price drip, 100+ drip. If that happens, that's great. Can it happen? I believe it can, as things come out. But at the same time, I'm showing you, and as I showed you in previous videos, we don't need a $100 drip to make a lot of money. You can see right here from a $25 drip with all the taxes taken out, you could still make $1 million. And typically a maxed out account has anywhere from like 250 days to claim. So that's about 8.5 months, give or take, that you could pull out potentially $250,000 based off of this example. That's the power of this ecosystem, right? And so without even doing $100, think about that. For every $25 for this example, that's $1 million. So let's say the price was at $100 for this person who happened to claim out at that time. That's technically $4 million they could pull out after the taxes, right? And that would be at $100 drip price. But that's being super, super optimistic at this point. You know what I mean? But I'm just showing you the power of this ecosystem. Even with all the taxes, this is why people want a maxed account. Same as myself, right? So me personally, I'm right around here. So that means I will get about 46,100 drip tokens after the claim ratio has been taken into effect and also the whale tax, right? So let's just take my rough amount, which is just going to be a tad more, not much, but 46,000 times what? Take $1 less maybe to get to $1 million. So that's 1.1 million on the $24, right? For anyone that's around this amount. The more you actually purchased in drip, the more tokens you actually receive when you go to max out. That's the key. But also, this is for people who already are like whales, maybe in other protocols, or maybe a whale that's already in drip. Those are people that's been investing maybe 30K, 50K at one time, wanting to get that quantity amount up because they're going to get more drip tokens back at the end of the cycle. So this is why some of those people invest that amount of money, right? So if you did 27.4, that's a lot of money right now for someone to invest, right? So you take 27.4 times a $7 drip price. That's almost 200,000 that someone would have to invest at one time. However, they will already be at a maxed account, and they will be able to pull out 72.5 drip tokens, right? So that 200K roughly they put in, a little under that, but let's just say, just doing some numbers here, 72.5 times a $7 drip price. That's 500K. So they made about 300K more than what they put in. And this is why some people who's dealing with a lot of large risk capital put in that much, because they know what they can get back, right? If they believe in the ecosystem. Not everyone does, and that's okay. But I'm just showing you this is the power of the drip faucet, regardless of the taxes. Yes, we hate taxes, but I wanted to show you this to be like, so what? Forget the taxes. We can still make a lot of money, right? And so I wanted to show you this. Hopefully this helped you out, because a lot of people ask, aren't there taxes with the faucet? Absolutely. How does the taxes work? Here you go. How does the whale taxes work? Here you go. And so I wanted to give you a few different examples as well, even showing you if someone was to just claim out everything and sell, you can still make a lot of money, because when you have that amount of tokens, it doesn't take the price to be that high. And so I just wanted to show you, if you gain some value from this video, definitely share this out with the drip community.
Big shout outs, salute, take a bow to Mike the Investor, one of your fellow legends. Like I said, there's no reason for me to try to recreate that, and I could not have said it better myself. And much respect to Mike. He that's the taxes in a nutshell. That's our legends acting legendarily. That was the drip taxes, the whale taxes. And again, please visit and subscribe to Mike's page. The link will be in the description. Woo! And again, this is for informational and educational purposes only, never intended as any type of financial advice because I am not a financial advisor. And always remember the three. Crypto is an individual endeavor. You do what's best for you, your family, and your family's finances. Number two, we have the best community, as you see. And like I said, my legends are the best in all of the drip community. And we have the best development team, Forex, and the whole team, the CMOs and everybody. And number three, increase your knowledge, reduce your risk. As you see, these MPs give you all the knowledge and information you could ever use and ever need to be a success and be legendary in the drip ecosystem. And of course, use the MPs to your advantage. And again, increase your knowledge, reduce your risk. And so please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Again, shout out to Mike the Investor, Legends. Salute, take a bow. The video has 7 seconds. To all of my legends, engage.